Have you ever been afraid of the dark? Have you ever felt that when the sun goes down, all the brave parts of you go with it? When the shadows stretch long and the familiar world seems to vanish? Do you ever wish you had a tiny light to show you the way? In a cozy barn, nestled amongst warm hay bales and creaky wooden beams, lived a small, striped tabby kitten named Finn. Finn adored the day. He loved chasing playful sunbeams as they danced across the dusty floor and pouncing on buzzing bumblebees as they zipped past the open window. But when the golden sun began its slow descent, Finn would hide. He was deeply afraid of the dark. To his little kitten mind, the shadows in the barn seemed to turn into creeping monsters with shadowy teeth and glowing eyes. Even the familiar sounds of the night, like the gentle rustling of leaves or the solemn hoot of an owl, made his little heart pound. He was convinced that the darkness was full of secrets, and every single one of them was scary. One evening, as the last bit of sunlight faded, plunging the barn into a deep, velvety black, Finn was so worried that he hid behind a hay bale. He felt terribly alone in the overwhelming darkness. Just then, a soft, ethereal light began to glow directly above him. It was a moth, unlike any Finn had ever seen. She was the size of a teacup, and her giant, swirling wings were the color of the night sky, dotted with luminous patterns that looked like tiny galaxies. "Hello, little one," she said in a voice as gentle as a lullaby. "My name is Luna. Why do you hide from the dark? It holds so much magic." Finn's fur bristled with a shiver of fear. Magic? No, it's all scary. The shadows are monsters, and the night whispers secrets I don't want to know. Luna's wings swirled, and her glow brightened, filling the space with a soft, comforting radiance. The shadows are not monsters, little one. They are just places where the light isn't reaching, and the secrets of the night are some of the most beautiful in the world. Come with me, and I'll show you. Finn was terrified, but Luna's light was so beautiful and calming that he felt a tiny spark of courage. He took a shaky step out and followed her. Luna flew gracefully ahead, and her glowing wings cast beautiful patterns on the barn walls. What Finn had thought was a scary, lurking monster shadow turned out to be the gentle silhouette of the old farm dog sound asleep. The rustling sound he'd imagined to be a creeping beast was a family of tiny, playful mice gathering crumbs for their dinner. And the hoot of the owl was a beautiful, ancient call to the moon. Luna led him to the barn door and fluttered outside, her light guiding him into the cool night air. The moon was a giant silver coin, and millions of stars sparkled like diamonds. What Finn had always thought was just a big, black emptiness was actually a vast, breathtaking canvas, alive with countless tiny lights. Luna flew gently toward a small, dark pond. Finn, still a little nervous, stayed close. "What's in there?" he whispered. "The greatest secret of all," Luna answered. She gently brushed her wing on the surface of the pond, and suddenly the water lit up with a brilliant display of color. Hundreds of tiny fireflies had been hiding under the surface, their light shimmering and dancing in unison. They weren't scary at all. They were beautiful, like fallen stars. You see, Luna said, darkness isn't a place to hide from. It's just a quiet place for the stars to shine, for the moon to glow, and for the hidden lights of all the creatures of the night to be seen. Finn looked at the pond, at the fireflies sparkling, and then at the magnificent moon and stars. He wasn't afraid anymore. He realized that the dark wasn't empty or scary. It was wonderfully full of hidden wonders, just waiting for someone to be brave enough to look for them. He had been so focused on his fear, on what he couldn't see, that he hadn't seen any of the breathtaking beauty around him. As the first hints of dawn began to paint the sky, Luna's ethereal light began its slow fade. "Remember," she whispered, "the bravest among us are not those who are never afraid, but those who are afraid and go forward anyway, knowing that every step into the unknown reveals a new kind of light. And that's the end of this adventure, but a new one is always just around the corner." Subscribe to Storiella so you don't miss it.